But they were never around, and newspaper reporters and TV reporters and radio reporters were never there when Daddy took out the old belt and he had to cut our tail for something that he considered was wrong. Mind you, we were never wrong as kids, you know.
The teachings of the late Dr. King spoke to Sir Lynden's desire to render assistance to the downtrodden and all those in need, believing that those who had had an opportunity to pursue a tertiary education at that time owed a responsibility to those who didn't have what was then considered a privileged opportunity. The young and idealistic Lynden wanted to do all he possibly could to assist others in opening social and economic doors that would have otherwise been closed.
We were living at the time of the Savoy Theatre. We were children, and J.P. Sands grocery store, and also the restaurant, the Jimmy Glico restaurant. We were very much involved as youngsters and children, and then young men in those days, because those barriers came tumbling down in our time.
Dr. King's nonviolent philosophy appealed to Pindling, who felt that lessons learned from the Southern Leadership Conference could be applied to the Bahamian context. King believed such an approach to attaining civil rights for blacks in the United States would cost the least lives. Pindling would go on to meet Dr. King, who was a regular visitor to Bimini and Nassau in the late 1950s, early 1960s. In 1963, Lynden Pindling would take part in the historic March on Washington in the company of actors and entertainers like Sidney Poitier, Sammy Davis Jr., Bill Cosby, Paul Newman, and Diana Ross.
At this time, there were still elements of Jim Crowism.